Welcome to CandleLight Audiobook. The Secret Misses. Chapter 381. While Robert and Rebecca placated her, Emma allowed herself to smile a little in victory. It was easy to deal with Robert and Rebecca's side. However, more importantly, there was still the difficult Millie to deal with. If she used Millie as a weapon, she would be able to completely wipe Luna out. If she offended the Goldberg group's higher authorities, she wouldn't last for too long. Before this, Millie was egoistic and did not care about being calculative with Luna, but after tonight, would she still let Luna go? She just has to watch the cat fight happen then. Luna, I will wait to watch you be defeated. After the launch of The World, Luna rested at home for 3 days. She lived like a pig, apart from practicing and eating, she just slept. Only on the 3rd day, she finally felt like she had regained the other half of her soul that she had left with Ella. However, in the next second, the sound of a message notification made her jump again. Luna, are you free tomorrow night? Little Treasure's school registration is done. Cabbage Lou. Luna looked at the words, Cabbage Lou, and did not reply instantly. Even though she had survived the launching banquet, it did not mean that the danger had passed. In fact, it was a huge warning for her. That dude did not just want to tease her, he wanted to threaten and warn her. Warn her that even though he was miles away, he could still reach her. Luna frowned, took out her phone, and retrieved a long-forgotten number from her telephone book. The phone only rang for a short while before it got through. Luna was stunned for a second before she reacted in a rush. Hello, Annie. Hello. Bro Luna. It's really you. How long has it been since you contacted me? Be good now. When she heard the girl's emotional voice from the other end, Luna's expression softened. Bro Luna, I really miss you. But before you left, you said you wanted to let go of the past and start a brand new life, so I daren't disturb you all this while, and daren't take the initiative to contact you. The girl on the other end of the phone sounded extremely sad. Luna laughed, stupid child, I was just pretending to be cool. You really believed me? What? Annie responded in a hurt tone, so my self-control over the urge to contact you all this while was for nothing? Luna was amused. Pfft, ha, I'm just teasing you. Why are you still so gullible? Stop teasing me. Bro Luna, you're too mean. Okay, I'll stop fooling around now. It's time to talk business. I've called you this time to ask about something. Luna said seriously. Annie quickly yet solemnly replied, What is it, bro Luna? I'll tell you everything I know. Luna scratched her head then asked, It's about your big boss. Has he been acting strangely recently? Annie was stunned and she stuttered, well. Luna impatiently asked, What is it? Yes or no, it's such an easy question. Annie immediately answered, Bro Luna, yes. Yes? Luna suddenly sat up straight. How has he been acting weird? Tell me quickly. Chapter 382. Annie coughed slightly, then said with an awkward, Boss, several days ago, in the dead of the night, he sat on the deck. He sat on the deck to do what? Can you just say it in one go? You're making me anxious. Luna was about to break down. He sat on the deck for the whole night and wrote a love letter. Annie blurted out. She did not even need to imagine that on the other end of the phone, the girl's face must be blushing red right at that moment. Luna was annoyed. I thought you were going to tell me something really outrageous, but that's it? Why did you have to stutter forever? Annie mumbled, Bro Luna, Big Boss's love letter was written for you, wasn't it? Now it was Luna's turn to hesitate. Annie carefully chose her words as she found it difficult to go on. Big Boss's writing skills are really in need of some working on. The deck was filled with crumpled up paper from a whole night of writing. Some of the other brothers saw that and could not help but to help suggest to him what to write. They all ended up getting beaten up by him. The boss insisted on writing it himself. He had actually spent a whole night writing those few sentences. Luna buried her face in her hands. I hope that he will use this perseverance to work on other aspects. Such as not messing with her anymore. Luna paused, then continued to ask, apart from this, were there any other unusual habits? Nothing, bro Luna. Annie answered confidently, then deliberated for a moment and added on, actually, come to think of our recent movements, it has been a little unusual. What's unusual about it? Luna immediately asked. For example, our movements in China seems to be increasing. Also, Big Bro wanted to return to the country several days ago, but because a very important cargo suddenly had issues, he has been spending the past few days dealing with it. Is that so? Luna frowned. Increasing activity within China? I wonder if this is related to Theo. Luna then nodded, okay, let's just leave it at that first. If there are any more oddities, remember to report to me immediately. Annie sounded unwilling, bro Luna, this wouldn't be too good, right? I don't want to be a mole. Luna's lips curved into a smile as she reminded, Annie please, you only care about your big boss now, so bro Luna is no more, huh? Who saved you once upon a time? Annie became anxious, bro Luna, of course I didn't forget. It was you who saved me. Luna nodded, satisfied, and she said, good. So, you're not a mole. You're an undercover spy. Understand? Annie replied, oh, understood. Good, okay, I'm hanging up now. Hold on, bro Luna. What is it? Bro Luna, is there really no way for you to ever return again? Annie said as she took on a melancholic tone. Luna listened to the sound of the ocean from the other end and slowly closed her eyes. She mumbled, when someone has been in the dark for too long, it's inevitable that one will be drawn towards the light. The days in my past have indeed been very carefree, yet my heart was like a plant with no roots. I couldn't find meaning for my existence. Even though the days now are hard and restrictive, I'm enjoying this challenge, enjoying this feeling of having a goal. Do you understand? Bro Luna, are you serious? Or are you just pretending to be cool? The other end of the phone replied with Annie's uncertain tone. Luna didn't say anything. Fine, it was her fault, she should not have messed with the naive little girl. Now she has really dug herself into a pit. Chapter 383. After she hung up, Luna lay on her bed again. She did not manage to gather much useful news through this phone call, although the fact that that dude's activities had been more frequent within China was confirmed. If it had not been for some incident with the goods, he was really ready to return to the country. She took in a deep breath, and finally replied Theo's message. Luna, I'm sorry CEO Goldberg, I have work tomorrow. I don't think I can make it. Please help me tell little treasure that I'm sorry. She tossed the phone aside after replying as she dared not see Theo's reply. Early morning the next day. In front of a private kindergarten were sounds of children crying. All of them did not want to go to school or for their parents to leave. At first it started with only one kid crying, but in the end, the sobbing turned infectious and all the other kids started crying too. The teachers and parents were busy coaxing their children not to cry. As soon as one had been placated, another one would start crying, and then all their efforts would have gone to waste. In the midst of this chaos, the smartest one was definitely the little bun who carried his little school bag, poker-faced. The little guy held his father's hand and was not even bothered by all the chaos around him. He was focused, looking at the road leading into the school. My children, please stop crying. Look at your little friend over there, he's so obedient. He's not crying at all. Some teachers pointed at little treasure for the other children to see for exemplary behavior. All the little ones looked at little treasure, but instead, they saw the scary man beside him. The next second, all the little kids cried even harder. He's caught by the big devil. Mom, I'm scared. Daddy, don't go, I'm scared. All the parents and teachers were speechless. As the situation seemed to go increasingly out of control, the teacher felt like she had to step up to her job and walked up Theo nervously. Hi there, the children are a little afraid of you. Do you think you could leave first? Immediately, the temperature around Theo seemed to drop and there was an eeriness to him. The teacher immediately backed away and dared not say more. She quickly walked far away. Even the teacher was afraid of Theo. Theo looked down at his son's little head, then said, "Don't bother waiting anymore, she won't come." Little Treasure lifted up his head to shoot his father an angry look, then stood his ground determinedly. Time slowly passed. Soon, it would be time to go into the class. All the parents had already cruelly pushed their little ones into the classroom. Luna still had not come. Go on, Theo had no choice but to say something again. This time, the little bun started writing something, then raised it to show his father. Little Treasure does not want to go to school. Theo squinted his eyes, then his face darkened. You're not a 3-year-old kid anymore. As a man, are you going to break your promise? The little bun started to write again. Little Treasure is a kid. I'm 5, I'm still a kid. Little Treasure is not a man. After he finished writing, he looked at his father with a pained, "Daddy, stop trying to trap me," expression. Well, this sentence did not work on him. Theo was speechless. Sigh, when your kid has all grown up, he was not that easy to trick anymore. At the same time, around the corner not too far away from the school, a black car came to a stop. Chapter 384. Matthew could still maintain his composure to protect his image, but Margaret was already impatiently rushing Tim, who was holding the telescope. "Tim, can you see clearly or not? What's Little Treasure's current situation? The other kids have all gone to class now. Why's our Little Treasure still not moving? Did something happen?" Matthew asked worriedly. Tim observed for a while, then turned to explain to them. The little master is indeed experiencing some kind of problem now. I just saw little master write that he doesn't want to go to school anymore. The big master tried to advise him, but it still didn't work. Matthew's expression immediately changed. "See? I knew it, that women's words are not that powerful anyway. In the end, Little Treasure still won't go to school. What do we do then? Wasn't he still fine last night? He even went out of the house obediently this morning. He's even already at the school's entrance. Why did he change his mind now?" Margaret was worried beyond comparison. When Tim heard their conversation, he cleared his throat and said, "The little master suddenly changing his mind about going to school seems to be because of Miss Luna's absence today. The little master was probably hoping for Miss Luna to send him off today too, so he's throwing a tantrum now." Matthew was immediately angered when he heard this. Then why didn't she come? Did she need us to personally invite her? This is preposterous. How about we actually invite her? It's more important for Little Treasure to go to school, Margaret suggested. Matthew immediately rejected the idea. Definitely not. Don't come up with such bad suggestions. If there's a first, there will be a second time. If we ask for her help this time, the next time would be worse. She will use this incident to make even more ridiculous requests. Then, what do you think we should do? Margaret did not know what to do anymore. She was initially full of hope, but now she was full of disappointment. Even if we personally invited her, I don't think she would come, because she knows that if Little Treasure were to fully recover, she wouldn't be of value anymore. There's no way she's hoping for Little Treasure to recover so quickly. Matthew said this with a firm voice. Well, if Matthew put it that way, Margaret finally understood. Not too far ahead, the conversation between father and son was getting worse. Theo asked again, "You're sure you don't want her to go to school?" Little Treasure nodded very confidently. "I'm not going anymore. There's no love anymore." Theo looked helplessly at his son's little face, full of determination. He knew his son's personality very well. It was difficult to change whatever the little guy set his mind to. Thus, he could only hold his son's hand and prepare to leave. "Let's go home then." The little bun curled his hand into a fist and remained in the same spot, refusing to move. Until finally, the bell for class rang. Luna was really not coming. The little guy's big eyes were full of sadness and disappointment, as his head tilted down and he walked away robotically with his father. Suddenly, at that moment, a clear voice shouted from the other end of the road, "My baby, Little Treasure." This voice was Luna's. Little Treasure's face immediately lit up and he wrung free from his father's hand to run towards the direction of the voice. As he listened to the sound of rushed little footsteps, Theo looked up to see her walk towards the school wearing Little Treasure's favorite pink dress with a pink-colored crystal hair clip. Chapter 385. Luna panted as she rushed over and squatted down to hug the little bun. Then, she stuffed something into his hands and said, "I'm so tired, it's a good thing I made it. Baby, take this, I was just learning from some masters last night, so I woke up early this morning to make you a love-filled bento box. It's your first day of school, good food can motivate you." When in reality, she had initially decided not to come when she sent that message last night, but her body seemed adamant not to be controlled by her brain. She automatically woke up early this morning and started to busy around in the kitchen. When she finally realized what she was doing, she had already finished making the cutest little bento box. Sigh, her heart was filled with love for the little bun. There was no way she could control herself. Especially when she thought about how the little bun would be waiting for her, and his disappointed little face when she would not appear, her soul left her. Alas, her exhausted body had to follow her soul to rush over here. "I'm sorry, baby. Did you wait very long?" Luna apologized. The little bun hugged the love-filled bento box tightly and immediately shook his head to indicate that he was not angry at all. Luna was instantly relieved. She touched the little bun's head and said, "Study well, and listen to what your teachers say." The little bun nodded hard. It's so nice to go to school." He wanted to go to school. Theo could not help but feel himself smiling as he watched his son's emotions change faster than the flip of a page. He intentionally tried to expose him and said, "I thought you said you didn't want to go to school anymore." When Little Treasure heard, he immediately tensed up and shot his father a deadly look. Daddy is so mean. How could he expose him to Luna? Exposing was the path of petty people. When Luna heard, she blinked and quickly asked, why not? Why don't you want to go to school anymore?" Theo never liked to tolerate with his son's tempers, so he directly said in front of his anxious son, "He's too temperamental." The little bun looked like he was struck by lightning. He was not going to talk to his father anymore. The little bun nervously looked at Luna and was so anxious that he was about to cry because he was afraid that Luna would be angry and not like him anymore. When Luna heard the explanation, she just nodded then nonchalantly said, "So what? Little Treasure is still little. Being temperamental is part of growing up. It's okay, baby, you can continue to be temperamental as much as you want." Little Treasure's face glowed, then he delightedly looked at his father by his side. "Indeed, Luna loves me the most." Theo looked at his son, then at Luna and laughed softly looking down, You're right." He had a look that seemed to say, "Whatever my wife says is right. I am okay even if I am being teased by my son." Theo's smile was so striking that Luna had to clear her throat and avoid that charming face. She quickly rushed Little Treasure, "It's time to go for class, isn't it? Go on in quickly, baby. Don't be late now." Little Treasure looked at the school, then squeezed Luna's hand tightly, clearly reluctant to leave her. At this moment, at the entrance of the school, there were still several reluctant children and their parents. They were all in shock. They watched in awe as the man who had frightened the children to tears earlier, seemed to soften when that girl appeared. His icy presence seemed to have melted and he seemed, not as scary anymore, and he even oozed a sort of warmth. Chapter 386. Then, a kid from the opposite stared at Luna and exclaimed, "That kid's mom is so pretty." Other kids noticed too and echoed him. "Like a princess. Like a flower fairy. Like a magical fairy. I want her to be my mother too," one of the kids said out loud. The kid's father laughed and said, "Don't say such things, your mother wouldn't like it." When he heard all the other children's words, the little bun immediately hugged Luna even tighter, as if he was preventing her from being ogled at. He acted in such a way like he was afraid that she would be taken away from him. Luna laughed and patted the little bun's head as a way of consoling him, "They're just joking." When she heard those descriptions of herself being called a princess, a flower fairy, a magical fairy and whatnot, she really felt quite embarrassed. Because the little bun liked it when she wore pink, not only did she wear the hair clip the little bun had given her, she also wore a very feminine and princessy dress too. She had really given it her all. As long as the little bun liked it. At last, the remaining children eventually stopped crying as they were distracted by Luna's presence. The teacher then quickly took the chance to lead them into the school. Thus, only little Treasure was left now. Luna hugged the little bun one last time with a heavy heart, then said, "Go on in." The little bun hugged the bento box in his arms and slowly walked in. At first, he really did not understand why the other children cried, but after Luna came, he understood. He was reluctant to leave Luna and he felt like crying too. Luna watched the figure of the little bun's back carrying his school bag and thought about how one day the little bun would grow up and become more independent. One day, he would finally, completely leave their protection and not need her anymore. Suddenly she felt her eyes well up. Jesus, what was up with these maternal emotions? This was when a hand patted her on the shoulder. "Don't be sad, it's a good thing." Luna awkwardly nodded, "Mm." Not too far away in a black car, Margaret had already gotten so emotional that she cried. God bless. God bless. No matter what, little Treasure has finally gone to school smoothly. Probably because his prediction had been wrong, Matthew wore a stiff expression on his face. He coldly scoffed, "At least this woman knew her position and she knew what to do." Margaret sighed with a hand on her chest, "Ha! This burden on my heart is finally relieved." Matthew shot her a look. "Now you can finally put more time and effort into his marriage arrangements, right?" Margaret wiped off her tears. I know. I'm almost done with choosing the candidates. Didn't I show you some of them earlier? I just need to send it to the medium to check their birth date compatibility." Even though there were not many people who still believed in such superstitions, in reality, the feng shui element was still something sought after within the upper-class social circles. Usually, before a marriage union, they still checked on fate compatibilities. After all, it was best to believe in something than nothing. Don't delay it any longer. Get this done within the next few days. Matthew urged. But I haven't decided which medium to hire now. How about medium long? They usually look for him in Imperial for such things. He has quite a reputation, that way we'd feel more assured too. Margaret asked. Chapter 387. Matthew shook his head at the suggestion of medium long and said, "No way. That long Fanine does have some skills up his sleeves, but he doesn't have sincere intentions. It would not be good if someone bribed him to fake the readings. It's not like such a thing hasn't happened in the past before, so, no, let's not get him. Make a trip to Fahua Temple and look for medium Xian Jing instead. Even though it's slightly more troublesome, but he's much more reliable. The Lu group has been generous with donations for the adornment of the gold foil on the Buddha statue every year. If you go there personally, I'm sure he will do us a favor." Yen Rui nodded. "All right, I'll look for medium Xian Jing then. This is not a small matter, so it doesn't matter if it's more troublesome, it's best to invest on reliability." This was when there was a thump that came from the front seat of the car. The telescope in Tim's hand had accidentally slipped and fallen. "Master, madam. Big Master seems to have noticed us. Do we still continue spying?" Tim asked in a shaky voice. He felt like he would die 100 times if he was discovered on the spot, since he had been put in the position against the Big Master several times now. Matthew had already found out about the matter he cared for the most. He looked over and saw that Luna seemed like she was waving farewell to Theo and both parties were prepared to go separate ways. Since there was nothing much to see further, he was prepared to leave too. "Okay, let's go back." "Okay." Tim breathed a sigh of relief and immediately started the engine. On the other side of the road, the first thing Luna did after sending the little bun off was, of course, to quickly run away. "Well, CEO Goldberg, if there's nothing else, I'll make a move first. I have to shoot an advertisement for a gaming company today and I have to rush over together with Stacy and the rest." After she said this speedily, she ran off without waiting for Theo's reply. Then, in the next second, when she had only gone 2 steps forward, her wrist was held in a vice grip and suddenly, she found that she could not move forward anymore. Instead, her entire body was pulled strongly into a warm embrace. Theo held the girl's slim waist and hugged her tightly. He then said with a low and hoarse voice, "Don't go yet." Luna was shocked, speechless. Her brain lagged. This devil, his skills have upgraded again. At least, the last time he thought of asking for her opinion. Now, he just immediately hugged her. Theo sighed helplessly and hugged her a little tighter. "I wanted to have a proper conversation with you, but you keep hiding from me. Now it seems like this is the only way." Luna questioned silently, "So it is my fault now?" "Luna, do you still remember? The last time you told me to be more careful and move around with more bodyguards," Theo suddenly said. When he mentioned this, Luna's nerves immediately tensed up. "Of course I remember. Why? Did something happen?" Theo patted her back in consolation. "Don't worry, it was nothing, I just wanted to tell you something." "What is it?" Luna was confused. What she really wanted to say was, "Devil, please have mercy on me. I won't run away, just let go of me and we can have a proper conversation, okay? Luna, when you said all those things to me previously, I intentionally used some tricks to make you worry about me, and also to be able to get close to you," Theo coughed as he confessed. Luna did not reply. Actually, there was no need to explain, she was not that dumb not to have realized this. So, what was he trying to say? Chapter 388. As Theo continued to talk, his tone became serious. "So, Luna, don't overestimate my vulnerability. Don't avoid me because of that. I'll guarantee that no one can hurt me and that no one can use this to threaten you to make you stay away from me." When she heard this, Luna finally understood what he meant and felt her heart sink a little. Theo slowly let her go and held her shoulders to make her look into his eyes. He then said intensely, as if to carve his words onto her heart, "Luna, I've said so much just to tell you that no one and nothing can affect your decision. The only thing you need to decide on is me, and the only one thing to ascertain is if you like me. If it's because you can't love me, then I'll accept it, and this reason is the only reason I can accept. One more thing, and most importantly, Luna, I am an adult, I can take responsibility for all my actions. No matter what I do, it comes from my heart and it's all voluntary. Even though the person I like is you, in a way, my feelings for you have nothing to do with you. So you don't have to feel pressured at all. I will wait for you, wait for the day that you fall in love with me. Understand?" Luna smiled bitterly as she buried her face in her hands. Whoever said Theo was not good with his words? He could practically participate in the national debate competition, since he was always saying things that hit her right in her soft spot. In her heart, a voice replied softly, "Theo, you don't have to wait actually, I've already fallen in love with you." Only, she didn't have the strength to defeat all that had happened years ago. To tell him the truth, to reveal the fact that she had been raped and had given birth to a stillborn was but only one easy sentence. But what she could not handle was how he would react to the news. Even if she believed that Theo would have a heart big enough that he would be okay with this, who would be willing to unashamedly reveal their own tarnished past in front of the person they loved the most? She could not even handle the thought of it. She would much rather be the best version of herself in his eyes. The man in front of her was too good, simply too good. He deserved to have the best, for the best woman to be his wife. Yet, when she thought about this, in the deepest corner of Luna's heart, she felt a wave of thought and impulse that she had never experienced before. Yes, the man in front of her should have the best. Why couldn't she become the best then? She could be so good that one day, she could defeat her past, defeat the low self-esteem within her and stand tall beside him. She would not be his Achilles heel, but she would be his armor instead. "Luna, Luna." Theo was a little worried when she did not reply him for a long time. The gentle voice beside Luna's ear made her return to her senses from the turbulent chaos within her heart. Her eyes glowed like never before. "Yes, Theo, I understand now. Theo was slightly stunned as he watched this girl glow fiercely, and his heart was moved. Even though he did not know what she was thinking about at this moment, he was still affected by her emotions. Okay. When she had thought things out, Luna felt like she was given a new life. Apart from her dreams, she now had another wonderful thing that was worth her hard work in life. Before her brain could react, Luna's body had already moved in to initiate a hug with Theo. Though it was quick and it was only a light one within half a second, it was still a hug. Chapter 389. After the hug, she ransacked her brain for a random reason and said, "Thank you for Big Boss's care, thank you for the pleasure of knowing you, thank you for helping me resolve the conflict, just, thank you so much. I'm going to do my best at work and all that." With that, she flew off like the rush of a pink-colored wind. As for Theo, he stood stunned in the same spot as if he had yet to understand what had just happened. He returned to his senses after a long while and thought, did Luna just hug him earlier? They have known each other for a long time now, yet this was the first and only time that she made the first move. He felt like he just smelt the fragrance of freshly blossomed flowers for the first time after climbing endless mountains and crossing icy rivers. Oh. My eyes. I just fixed them and now they're blind again. Why? Why do I have to always witness such destructive images? Jesus. What am I to you? Someone to be tortured? From somewhere, a whine disrupted the mood. Cleo popped out of nowhere and he closed his eyes as if he were in pain as he watched his brother floating on cloud 9 after the hug. Why are you here? Theo asked his brother with a goofy smile. Cleo was taken aback as he rubbed the goosebumps on his arm. My brother, don't smile when you talk to me, it's making me nervous. I'm so not used to this. Is there something you need me for? Theo seemed to be conscious that his current emotions were not too controlled, so he cleared his throat and gathered himself. Nothing. Just that I saw Tim driving over to secretly follow Little Treasure, so I secretly followed them out too. Oh, right, I even put this on Tim. He. Cleo smiled cunningly as he revealed a micro-sized listening device. He never would have thought that I was right behind them, right behind you. You did well. Theo was not stingy with his compliment. Cleo was so happy that he could fly, of course. I just heard earlier, Mother and Father are prepared to check your compatibility with those lady socialites at Fahua Temple. Bro, tell me, do we want to do something about this? For example, make those socialites' dates of birth to be incompatible with yours, then make Luna's one be shockingly compatible. Who knows, this could make our parents change their mindsets. The old one seemed to believe this more. No need for that, Theo rejected the idea without hesitation. This is an insult to medium Xian Jing. Xian Jing was a genuine and sincere monk and he would not partake in such fabricated ideas. Even though there was also Long Fan Yin, based on his father's cautiousness, he predicted that the old man would definitely not believe his words. Such an action would backfire on him instead. Cleo held his chin as he contemplated, okay, if it's Xian Jing then it's best not to do this. Besides, who knows if you and Luna's dates of birth might actually be perfectly compatible. Theo actually nodded immediately and he had a steady, focused expression. Cleo held his hand to his chest in mock hurt. Okay, bro, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. In the days to come, I don't want to be tortured anymore. I just want to leave quietly and find a small island to heal. I can finally go on a holiday, feeling assured with your current situation. When he thought about a long break of 3 months, Cleo returned to his energetic self. To leave this heartless land. The beach. The sea. The beauties. I'm coming. Chapter 390. At Glory World Entertainment. In the hall downstairs, Millie, donned in a long white dress, had an annoyed expression on her face when she saw that part of her skirt was dirty. At this moment, a well-dressed woman was angrily scolding an older female artiste, Maria. Do you know how to do anything at all? How could you dirty Millie's dress by spraying water to wipe the floor? Do you know how much this dress costs? Millie's manager, Chloe, crossed her arms and scoffed, money? This is Chanel's limited edition from the current season. It's not even on the market for sale yet. Our Millie only got this dress because she just signed the contract to be their spokesperson. You can't buy this with money. The artiste named Maria immediately turned pale and apologized profusely. Sorry, Sis Millie. Sis Chloe. Sis Isabella. I'm really sorry. It's all my fault for being careless. Or else, Sis Millie, how about you take it off and I'll help you send it for cleaning. I will definitely clean it so well that you wouldn't be able to tell it had even been dirted. Maria was 30 years old this year and had been in the industry for 10 years now. She was older than Millie, Chloe, and the artiste who criticized her, Isabella. However, she really had no fate for fame. All these years, she could not increase her popularity, so in recent years she had to resort to being an extra. It was not about how long you had been in the entertainment circle, but more about how famous you were. Even if you entered the industry earlier, in front of these people, you still had to respectfully call them sis. Initially, for a small character like herself, she did not care if people made life harder for her. Only recently did she realize her luck had improved and she was spotted by a director to take on a more prominent supporting actress role, which was also wanted by Isabella as well. Isabella was Millie's cousin, and she used Millie's power in the company to do as she wished. This time, an extra got the role that she sought after, so how could she not want to mess with her? At that moment, there were more people watching in the hall. Everyone knew that Isabella was obviously looking for trouble with her. Yet, no one even stood up for her or dared to say a word. Instead, many people took the opportunity to echo Isabella and started to scold Maria too. It was no exaggeration that Glory World Entertainment was Millie's world. If anyone offended her and her posse, they had no hope of making it in the entertainment circle anymore. As everyone around looked on without helping, Maria could only surrender and pick up the soiled skirt, begging, I guarantee that I can wash off the dirt on here. Isabella crossed her arms and mercilessly kicked Maria. Take away your dirty hands. Wash? Are you kidding? How are you going to wash this? With your hands? Do you think we'd still want this expensive outfit after your coarse hands have washed it? When she was done scolding, Isabella suddenly had an idea and held Millie's hand to flightily say, Cousin, this woman has been in our company for 10 years and she's still just an extra. Just doing such a small task turns into a clumsy job. It's too wasteful of the company's resources to keep someone like her, so we should just let her go. Isabella's poisonous words and her cruel attitude made it seem as if Millie really was the hostess of the company now. However, Millie obviously really enjoyed hearing this. Her expression immediately became lighter as she started to contemplate the suggestion seriously.